I think there's something you should know about me. I just happen to...
Outstanding. Let's go bowling. Wow!
Hey Aussie gamers and honorary Aussie gamers from around the world. Welcome to episode 106. Today is Thursday, the 3rd of December 2015, and you're listening to the Aussie Gamers Express podcast, the podcast that is not riddled with bugs. I am your host, Luke One, and joining me this week is my good friend, Thorncliffe. How are ya?
I am very well.
Seedy as all hell?
No, I'm okay.
Oh, a big tough man. We'll elaborate on that in a minute. And also joining us is our other primary coloured friend, Red.
Ray, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. And yourself?
Fantastic.
Awesome. So you guys are in the same house at the moment, is that right?
Yes, we are.
Ooh, so Thorncliffe has made a pilgrimage down to Tasmania. You guys made love many times yet?
6 or 7.
It might have been this one special time, though.
you can't bask in the hammock that is Red's beard anymore. What's going on there?
No, I can't. Well, I like a clean-shaven man, and he just,
Just made it happen for you.
He needs to shave somewhere also.
I look like a chode with shoulders. If I get my double chin crank, and if I look down to where my chode should be, I get the whole foray and the head hat, and it's like, nah. Stand up straight, correct posture, dickhead.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
It's looked like they put a matchstick on a tree trunk.
I never realised until now that, Red, you're actually a Balchinian.
I am.
Oh, lovely. All right, before we start this week's show, is the show in preview. We'll go into game talk, then we'll cover some news, and in the news we've got Just Cause 3 launch issues, new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is coming, a cancelled Avengers game, gold-plated Fez, Rocket League coming to Xbox One, and a revised version of Among the Sleep. After that, What's That Sound? Then we'll do a rapid-fire quiz. Come on, Thorncliffe, it's time for you to shine. Then a must-play game.
I'm going to gaffer tape him.
Oh, well, you can now, because you can you just go and punch him in the head. Or just... what can you do? Just go and unplug his computer or something so he drops out of the call.
Yeah.
Then Sean's going to do must-play games. Red's going to give us a shout, and we'll close the show for another week. Getting very close to the end of the year. Heads up next week is our Game of the Year episode. So we're going to get all our games that we've enjoyed through the year, and we'll discuss that for the show. And then I believe it's one more show after that, and then that's it for 2015.
And next week as well, we get to see if our picks are the same as coming towards with the game awards on tomorrow. So,
ooh, yeah, there might be. I don't know, but yeah, we'll talk about what the game awards are next week as well, I guess. All right, who's going to go first with game talk?
I'll go. I'll make it short and sweet.
Go for it.
Well, since our last show, I've worked and then made a trip down to Tassie, so I've had a little bit of time to play, but mostly Battlefront, a little bit of Rory McIlroy as usual, and I keep on saying I need to put time into Fallout 4, and this week was going to be it, but I kind of... not under the best circumstances, had to come down to Tasmania, but no, it's still good. And Red and I did a bit of the co-op on Battlefront last night. Mm-hmm. So that was good fun, the couch co-op split screen. Yeah. And we still managed to beat Luke 1 and Roy Boy's time by 10 minutes.
Oh, are you talking about the survival? Oh, is that one that we did last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we spent about 10 minutes at the end. On the last round, we left one TIE fighter standing, so I could run around for 10 minutes trying to find the last fucking collectible.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get it?
No, I gave up and went, fuck this. There's one,
Oh,
there's one that I
so
can
you can
find.
run me through, because I've only found one.
No, well, I found 4 of them, but the last one, so yeah, if you beat us by 10 minutes, don't be too proud about it.
Yeah, they said that you need to watch out with some of those because they do put them in places where you might have to jetpack up and then run around a small area to then jetpack into another area to get it. So, I actually came across a couple of little places last night as well when we were playing that I got stuck. Couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but no, we'll see. We got 4 of them. Roy Boy found the one that was above the lava. Believe it or not, you don't die when you go in the lava. You lose a little bit of health, but don't worry about falling in the lava because, strangely enough, lava isn't that hot on whatever planet that is. So there's one floating. Oh, what level is it? What's the level called?
Yep.
I don't know. No point running through where they are if we
Solace?
can't tell. Oh, I think that's what it is. Anyway, the one where there's the shed with the Y-wing in it and there's lava and all that sort of stuff, and it sort of goes downhill.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's one floating above the lava down in the bottom end of the map. There's one hiding if you're facing the hangar. There's one like tucked away on the far top right hand corner. There is where's the other one? Oh, there's one on top of the Y-wing.
You got to say, yeah, one in the hangar somewhere, I reckon.
So there's 3. The 4th one. Where was the 4th one? I can't actually remember. Anyway, we ended up getting 4, but the 5th one eluded us and gave me the shit, so that's why it took us a little bit longer to finish it, and I just gave up. And I think good old Roy Boy wanted to go to bed. Well, not go to bed, I don't know, he had something to do. But so we finished it up there. Cool. What else, Sean?
That's about it.
Okay.
We kind of did the thing that people used to do without video games. So we
Masturbated.
got on the cans and played the guitar and sung songs and stuff.
Righto.
It was pretty cool, actually.
What do you got, Red?
Much of the same, except for probably an additional dozen at least hours into Fallout 4. I'm level 39, Bees Dick off 40 now, so really starting to pump it out with my preferred perks. I still, spoiler free, I'm still up to that part that I'm talking about with the launch pad thingy.
Yep.
So I haven't pushed any further in the story than that, but I've done a lot of stuff for like the Brotherhood and the Minutemen and everything, getting some colonies up and running and trying to get a trade route going on because all my resources are in one place, and if I want to go and build something somewhere else, I've got to travel all the way back to Sanctuary, load myself up, travel back, build it to find out that I'm missing one bit of fucking adhesive or something, you know what I mean, then go back.
Yeah, that's
so.
How do you do that? Look, I was told that it was just a perk. Now, I unlocked that perk, but
Yep.
it still doesn't work.
Now, what you do, if you've got additional settlers in your in any given colony, you go up to your workshop button if you hold in the Minecraft mode.
Yep.
Well, you go up to them and you put your cursor on the person, and you can press X to command so you can make them go get the water and shit. But there's a button, there's an option down the bottom that says R1 supply line.
Oh.
So if they're already got a job, or if it's like Garvey or Dance or anyone like that, any main companion, you can't set them up to run the supply line. So it'll be just like greyed out. But if it comes up green or whatever colour your Pip-Boy is, and you press R1 on them, it gives you a big list of all your settlements, and you can choose which settlement they run between.
Oh, right. Okay. Wonderful. I'll do that. Yeah, because I was just told that it was just the perk. So I got the perk, and I'm thinking, why isn't it working?
And wondering why nothing's happening. But so die.
Okay, so you got it.
Because I got into Weeksy, because he was the one helping us out. And I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking? I said, I've got the perk. I got the perk real early because I wanted to do different things within the settlement, like put a doctor and that in there, just so I could go back instead of using chems. And he goes, you got the perk? I went, of course I've got the bloody perk. And he goes, and I said, now I can't access it down at the castle or anywhere like that. And he goes, have you set someone to do it? I assigned them the job, and I went, no. So how do you do that? And he proceeded to give me the rundown that you just got there. So, yeah, hopefully that'll help you out. One thing I will suggest, though, I set one up from Sanctuary straight down to the castle. and that takes ages. So try and set them up in somewhat of a circle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
When
so yeah, rather than one from one end of the map to the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
try and
No.
set, it's a little bit more efficient that way because when you put something in your storage, this is what I believe. I have no hard written text to back my theory, but this is a theory of mine. If you go and you scrap everything and then you chuck all your junk in a sanctuary, before it gets to the castle, it literally, game time, it has to calculate how long it takes someone to walk there on foot. Remember the very first mission with Garvey, how you had to walk back from the library all the way back to Sanctuary? That's the speed that they walk at, because if you dismiss, say, Dogmeat or any companion out in the middle of nowhere and you say, look, go back to Sanctuary, you go, oh shit, I needed him. If you fast travel back to Sanctuary, they won't be there yet.
They won't be
because
there
they
yet,
have to travel.
Yeah,
Have to travel foot.
They
So-
literally walk the distance, don't they?
Yeah. So with that mechanic in play, solely just for that, I would assume that the supply lines would be very much the same.
Yeah, awesome. No, well, good old Weeksy. Thanks for letting us know about the supply lines and then giving me half the story on how to actually do it. Good man. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. But thank you, Red, for clarifying in the rest of what I need to do there, because that's cool. Because, there have been a few times where I've wanted to repair my my power armor, and I'll just go to one of my, one of the closest establishments, thinking, oh, I've got that perk now, sweet as, but there's nothing there. And I'm like, what?
Nothing.
But
Fucking
anyway.
Weeksy.
Yeah, so I'll sort that out. One thing that I worked out as well, I didn't realise, but when you plant food like a gourd or a carrot or corn or melons, I don't know, after a week of game time or something like that, they grow. You can pick them and replant them.
Yep.
So rather than picking them to eat or whatever, pick them and replant them, and then you've got shitloads growing, and you get that many to the point where there's always going to be something there. And that way, when you want to establish another area, you can go and grab supplies from there, so you can pick them and take
You
them.
eventually got a farm the same size.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So you go and take the stuff you need, fast travel to the next joint, plant them there, and you've got heaps of food. That's a good way of doing it. That's what I'm starting to get into now. Because just getting all my settlements up, because now that I've actually completed every single quest line, so I've done everything now. That's not including like your little fetch quests, like your little side missions, but I've done every single storyline. There's I think there's 3 different endings. I've done all of those, so I've done just about everything in the game with about 5 days worth of gameplay.
Did you have to use multiple saves, or
Yes.
you could just...
Yes.
You did? Ah, really?
Yeah.
You see, I got a list the other day. Repamir sent me a list. He goes, oh, if you want the platinum in one run, you've got to do this. I'm like, too late.
No, you haven't gone too far yet. If you're up to building that relay thing, you've not gone too far.
I've built it.
Yeah,
Apparently you had to build it with the railroad.
Yeah, no. It doesn't matter who you build it with, because I built it with the Minutemen.
Yeah, I built it with the Brotherhood. See how different it is? I love Fallout.
Which is fine. I think you would have built that at the airport, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see, no, that part doesn't matter. The part where you need to save it for the first time, there's a couple that you'll have to do. For the first time, you have to say, it'll prompt you. It'll say, if you do this, you will become enemies with the Brotherhood. If you do this, you will become enemies with such and such. So you just say, oh, no, I don't want to do that, and do a manual save. That way you can come back to that point, so you can choose in your first run through, you can either just go, okay, I'll do that and become enemies with that person.
Yep.
Or you can choose not to and go and do whatever else you can do. So there's a couple of
love your work.
different options there. So, you haven't gone too far. It's all good. Most of the time, it will prompt you and say, if you do this, this will happen. When it does that prompt, give yourself a save.
Yep.
And it's quite interesting the way it works, like going through all of the 3 different ways, and It really does, because, and this is what I love so much about Fallout. I don't, yeah, fucking believe it or not, absolutely believe it or not. Like, there are that many main characters in the game, but every single one of them is developed. Every single one of them has a purpose. Every single one of them has a personality, a different personality at that. And every single one of them, I kind of, like, had an attachment to.
Yep.
So when you do the difference, obviously, I don't know what you'll do, but I did the first one, I sort of just did it whatever I felt at the time. And I went down one path. And then going down a different path later, I kind of felt like I was betraying.
You felt dirty.
I felt dirty. I was like, oh, no, I can't do that. But, you know, you do it to experience the different parts. So I've done it all now, and absolutely brilliant. I still, even though I've finished all the quests, I still want to play it more and do some more. I want to, do the colonies and stuff like that. So it's a brilliant game.
Beacons, the distress beacons that you just get when you're walking out. You've got to tune your radio into them. Trust me, some of them are pretty intense.
Well, there's heaps of stuff like that which is still fun to do, but 5 days worth of gameplay, right? I've still haven't seen the whole map.
Nah.
I'm still every now and then.
The bottom third.
Yeah, every now and then I'll just go for a walk and I'll still get the little cha-ching and like a new settlement or new area has just been discovered and it'll pop up on my map. You just look at it and you go, oh, there's a whole big area of nothing there. Surely there's something. So I'll go for a walk. And you go, yeah, sure as shit, there's a death claw. But that's all right because I've got myself a laser Gatling gun that runs and it runs off my what are they called? The cores, the fusion cores.
Power armor.
Yeah,
fusion core.
It runs off the fusion core, but it doesn't deplete it. It's
nice.
I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just an awesome gun because what happens? I'll
hash it.
I'll fire, like it'll say I've got 500 in the gun, like 500 rounds, and I've got 43 sort of like in my stash. So which marries up with the amount of cores that I've got. So I'll fire, run out of ammo, he'll rip out the core and throw it, put a new one in, and my core count doesn't drop, but my ammo goes back to full.
Hot damn.
So yeah, I just and it's a Gatling gun too. So it doesn't. It's like 8 damage or whatever it is, but it fires at the rate of knots. So it just destroys everything. It's mad. So I just run around just lacing those big what are they called, behemoths and stuff with that. And
I come across a couple of them.
Yeah.
They're big.
Oh, I come across a behemoth once, and how he died was awesome, but I'm not spoiling it because it's part of the story how it happened. I don't know if it happened, like it might not be scripted, but it happened during a thing. So to explain how it happened would be spoiling, so I'm not going to tell you about that.
Yeah,
So
cool.
yeah, so I've played a lot of Fallout. Probably too much. I'm
Oh, never.
I probably need to, I don't know, go and see what the sun looks like again or something. But what else, Red?
You just need to know, wait a second, Luke, if you've truly got a problem or not. Do you wish you were playing Fallout right now?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a problem.
when I messaged...
Call the nut farm. Yeah, Bethesda's got a hold of him.
Sean, earlier you messaged me saying that you're having breakfast or whatever, and I said, do you guys need some extra time? I had no problem whatsoever that you guys might be a bit seedy this morning. I was like, yeah, you guys take a bit of extra time, no dramas. I'm going to keep playing Fallout.
I'm well chuffed you've enjoyed it.
It's your...
You had to get through the teething process of
not knowing
what
yes.
to do.
Absolutely, and I stand by my reactions early on because that was fucked, but that's all forgotten now, I guess. It's forgiven, at least.
Alright, what else have I done? I've thrown the odd game through Call of Duty, as per usual. That'll be my main staples now, Fallout and Call of Duty, and some downtime games in between, like Rocket League. I had a few games of Rocket League yesterday while I was waiting for Sean to come back from Hobart, and in between getting dinner ready, and a couple of games of basketball, and that's probably about the extent of it. Oh, actually, there is one new thing I've been playing this week, and I recommend it to all those sport nuts out there. On my phone, I've been playing Stick Cricket 2.
Oh,
Absolutely
okay. Is it anything like Stick Golf?
No,
Oh.
no. Do you remember back in the day, it used to be like a browser-based game, web browser game, Stick Cricket? It's just Stickman, and you pick left or right, whether you want to hit left or right.
No.
It's basically that now, but all colourful and yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I've been playing a fair bit of that because, well, it's cricket season. I can't play football, can't watch football. May as well revel in a bit of cricket.
Tops.
So that's it.
That's it? All right.
Yep.
Well, let's go through my week. Let's talk about Fallout 4. No, I'm just kidding. We've talked about that, I guess, enough. We'll probably talk about it, I don't know, again and again and again. But, yeah, Star Wars Battlefront, been playing a little bit of that. Finished the campaign. Did that, yep. So did a bit with you, Red. We smashed through a couple of the survivals on the hard setting. Played it last night as well with Roy Boy. Thanks very much for that. That was awesome. It's a good solid shooter. I think it's quite a good game. I didn't get a chance to try out that that new mode, but I was talking to Roy Boy about it last night, and he was saying that it's kind of like a capture point where like you've got to go and like it's a massive 40 player game or something like that, and you've got to go capture points. So it sounds like domination, just like a massive dom match. And he was saying that it's like just camper central. Like apparently, like there's just everybody camps around the zones that you need to capture, because it's a little bit different to dom. Like you take turns rather than everybody's trying to capture. So
yeah, like defend and
Round one and
yeah. So the opposition just camp and just shoot everyone as they try and get to the zone to try and capture it. He was saying that it was a struggle for his team to always try and at least get one. But, and he said that the map looks almost identical to Endor or something like that, which is a bit of a disappointment if it's just a carbon copy. But anyway,
that's not that Jakku map, is it?
yeah, that one.
yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they said it's like a, it's when they said that it kind of shows the lead up to why Jakku is like it in The Force Awakens. So
Right.
I'd be interested in giving it a go.
Yeah, I'll try it eventually. Yeah, so a little bit of that. Most of the time it's been Fallout 4. I've played a little bit of The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. That came out on the 1st of December on the Xbox One. It's an Xbox game with gold freebie. So I played that. That's not terrible. It is kind of like, I would describe it as Diablo's little red-headed brother. It's kind of good, but is a little bit derpy at the same time. It's it almost looks like they've just blatantly copied Diablo in a lot of things, because like for starters, the actual gameplay being, you know, top-down or isometric gameplay. There's also like treasure goblins. It's almost exactly the same. I don't know. I can't remember what they called them, but it was just this little dude running with a sack on his back, dropping money, and I just kept shooting him, and he was really hard to kill, and he eventually just jumped off a cliff to get away from me. But
So is it like the one class setup, or can you?
well, no, that's the thing I want to mention. It's pretty piss poor in this area and doesn't reflect Diablo in at all. It looked like there was only one class that I could choose, because the rest of them was DLC.
Oh.
Yeah, so you had to pay for the different classes. So I thought, okay, this is the class I'm going with then. Yeah, so it's It's good. It plays good. It's a bit strange because you're using the buttons to attack rather than the sticks. Because you'd normally use the sticks, or I suppose Diablo you don't use the triggers and that. But in this one, you use the like the actual buttons B and stuff like that. X. I like how it. You got to click in. I think you click in the left stick to change weapons as well. That's really quick and easy to do. You can switch between your melee and your distance weapon or your guns and stuff like that. I only played it a little bit, but just to get a feel for it. But it's okay. It's good.
So what kind of weapons and stuff are you using? Weapons, or is there magic in there as well? Or...
I haven't played very much, but all I started off with was they look like 2 pistols and a sword. So I don't.
Okay, yeah, because I'm a big fan of like Van Helsing and all those kind of things. And
there probably would be.
I'd be actually interested in getting into it and see if there's any like thing with if the actual monsters are like the true monsters, like Jekyll and Hyde and like Dracula and all that kind of stuff. Frankenstein, yeah.
So I played a bit of that, but not heaps, so I may go back to it if I've got time, which isn't very likely in the near future. Beyond Two Souls, that's been remastered for the PlayStation 4, so I played a little bit of that as well. I'm going to start off with the disappointing things about it. Now, what I was most excited about it the first time through on the PlayStation 3 was playing it co-op with my wife, who doesn't play video games. Now, Beyond Two Souls had an option where you could download the app on your smartphone or tablet and connect it to your console and use that as the second controller, which is a lot more appealing to, I think my wife is the typical female gamer who has absolutely no idea. That appeals because there's not 1,000 different buttons on a controller and it's written on the screen what it's going to do, tapping here and there. So she felt a little bit more comfortable using the iPad as opposed to a DualShock controller. The thing is, they haven't updated the app, so it still searches for a PS3. I couldn't get it to connect to the PS4 at all, so either they've got to do an update or they've got to make a new app or something like that. Were you going to say something, Sean? Did you get it to work?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't get it to work like that because I started playing it, actually. I didn't mention it before, and whilst I was doing it, I thought, you know what, I'll just use a second controller to control Aiden, and because then I could, if Christy wanted to sit down and play, then I was playing as a duo anyway. But yeah, the controller feels clunky when you're controlling him.
Yeah, well, I would have thought that you'd have a little bit more freedom if you used a DualShock controller because although I did set the controls, because you can pick 2 different settings saying I play games all the time or I very rarely play video games. I set it to very rarely, so it may have made them very simple and clunky on purpose. I'm not sure. I didn't try it in the other mode, but I did it that way because my wife never plays video games. She had no idea, so that might be the reason why it plays like that. But the thing is, it doesn't work with the iPad. It doesn't yet. Whether or not they're going to implement that later, I don't know, but that was
they'd want to do something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's in the game.
That was good with the PS3.
Yeah, and the options
of doing that.
They haven't taken the option away from the actual game. It's still there to set, but it doesn't work. But anyway, moving on to the good things. I mean, it's the graphics still look the same as they did in 2013, which is fairly natural. But the lighting's changed. A couple other things is cool. It looks
reflections.
Good. But the thing is, it looked fantastic on the PS3, and it still fits. I reckon the graphics in this game probably rival some of the graphics on the PlayStation 4 for games that are made just for it.
Well, that's what I noticed. I thought that they might have done a little bit of work to it because when I first started it and I was looking at the gameplay hasn't changed very much at all. It looks like there's just been a bit of upscaling, and as you say, the lighting, they've added a few of the reflections and stuff into it and that. But when I was actually watching the cutscenes, like right at the start, it seemed to me like they'd done a fair bit of work with like adding around the textures on the faces and all that kind of stuff, because it looked like it was a little bit more sharper, where you could like see little bits of scarring and just wrinkles and age like just little age spots kind of stuff, and it actually looked a bit better to me. But then again, I haven't played the other one in so long that it could just be me looking at it again going, wow, this does look amazing.
Yeah, there's been no mention from Sony that they updated textures. It just says that they've upscaled it to 1080, so I don't know if that actually happened. That's what I'm saying. It looked fantastic back then. It still looks good now. It's apparently they made it harder. I didn't notice it harder at all. It felt the same, but I would never say that game's a hard game. Because it's more of an interactive movie than anything that's going to challenge you. You're there for the story, not there for the challenge. But that's the type of game it is. It looks brilliant. It's got enough. It's got enough there to bring in a new audience. But as for people that's already played it, I can't imagine them getting much from it. They've added Telltale game style percentages after you finish the missions or the sections of memory. Something that I thought was a little bit weird, you can change the order that you play the game in now.
That was what I was going to say next, that there's a chronological order that you can play it in.
Yeah, because if you played it the original way,
start as a kid.
It throws you around. Like you'll play it as a teenager, you'll play it as a child, then you'll play it as an adult, then you'll go back to teenager, child. It's sort of all over the place, the way that it was originally made, which I think was good because it made the player try to piece everything together and say, oh, so that's why that part back then happened and all that sort of stuff. It helped you, it challenged you a little bit. Putting it in chronological order, I think, would just make it just normal, make it a bit normal. Yeah,
and the way that, as you said, the way that they did it originally with the like scattering back and forth and all that kind of stuff, it kind of gave you a feel of who she really was right from the beginning, and then it kind of went, well, this is who she is now, like this hardened person, and she's a developed person already, and she's got all this stuff, and she's starting to understand why the things are happening, and then it kind of flicks you back to when she didn't understand, when she was only a child, and then as she was growing up and that, and yeah, as I said, it kind of fills in the pieces a little bit, but I think they did well to establish her as a character to start off with and then start telling the backstory.
But that's, I mean, whether you want to play it that way or not, I would recommend playing it just the way that it normal, like the original way. I don't know what the experience would be like playing it in chronological order. I guess that's the way they made it originally, so just play it that way. That's my recommendation. But it is what it is. You're not gonna. The thing that will drive you back to this game to finish it is the story. You're not going to be gagging for the gameplay. It's not overly fun. But anyway, that's what that one is. It's. I can't recommend it for people that have already played it. There's no point. That's all I can say really. Red, you haven't played it, have you?
No, not at all, mate. And I'd never really been interested in the types of like the narrative driven games, Heavy Rain, Until Dawn, that genre, until playing Until Dawn.
Yeah, if you liked Until Dawn, you might enjoy this one.
But the thing that was a real draw card for Until Dawn is I love my horror movies and I love a bit of saw action and a bit of gore and everything, and they delivered on that level as well. And it wasn't as jump scary as say Isolation, which that petrified me. You know, I wasn't sitting there wetting myself and crying in tears. I was close, but it was just that constant tension on the chest. You know, I could feel the cardiac arrest coming. But with Until Dawn, you got the whoo, and then you went, oh fuck. But then it did lull you into places where you could feel secure and wander around and everything like this. It just wasn't a constant finger on the bloody pulse sort of thing like with your Isolations. And I dismissed Heavy Rain at the time because of prior commitments to Call of Duty and whatnot. But after listening to you guys talk about it last week, how it features a serial killer and this and that and everything else, I'm like, oh yeah, got to try that. And so I've got Sean's copy now, and I've got the PS3 set up in the bedroom, so that'll get a playthrough. But from reviews and everything and footage and trailers and whatnot of Beyond Two Souls, I'm just not sure. Judging a book by its cover, granted, that it's probably my sort of... It's not my bag, really.
No, I'd probably say it's not, but give it a go. Have a look at it and just at least play.
Yeah,
the
I'll
first few
appreciate
like sequences are quite short. You'll probably play through about 3 or 4 of them in 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
So give them a go at least. It is a bit bizarre. You feel like you're watching a strange SBS cult movie at first.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
kind of a perfect way to put it, actually.
yeah, like it starts off and like if you play it the way that it originally intended, it starts off and Jodie, the main character, is talking to this looks like a small town sheriff guy, and then these like military guys bust in to get her and get all messed up, and then it cuts away to I think then she's a child, and then you do these mind games where you control the entity who knocks over blocks and things and scares the shit out of this old lady who's reading cards and stuff like that. Then I think it switches to you're like a 10-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl, and you go to a party and you get picked on. That's the experience you go through. You can pash on with this bloke who ends up being an arsehole. Spoiler alert. And it gets quite bizarre, and then it gets very bizarre. There's even one point, Sean, you know what I'm talking about, when all of a sudden you're out in the middle of the desert with these Indian blokes, like as in Native American Indians, and you got to help them get rid of this weird creature. You're like, why is this in the game? I don't even know what this has to do with anything.
The dude was writing a script and he was having few many schooners as he was writing it.
Oh, mate,
fucking, let's add this in.
no, mate, that wasn't schooners. That was something else harder.
LSD.
He's pipe.
Yes, it was. It was something that he was smoking or swallowing. It was definitely not beer.
What was that stuff that the Indians drink to go on their spiritual journeys?
Oh, yeah, wooba wooba.
Oh, I have no idea. Methadone. I don't know.
I'm going to look it up. It's going to bug me otherwise.
But yeah, it's. I'm glad I played it.
Peyote. Peyote?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
You're telling the story. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full of bizarre shit, this game. It's worth an experience, but some people may turn it off thinking, what the fuck is this game about?
What am I doing here?
Oh dear. Maybe play it in the right order, who knows? I don't know. But that's Beyond Two Souls anyway. There's a review up on the Aussie Games Express website. Have a look at it. I think that's it for Game Talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some news. Right, first up in this week's news, Just Cause 3 has been released, off to a rocky start. So it released this week on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, and unfortunately it has been plagued with a few issues. It's had bugs, visual glitches, frame rate drops as low as 17 frames per second. It's had crashes and extremely long load times. One player actually commented saying that he left it load for that long. It was about an hour before it loaded, but that sounds like a problem with the game rather than a long load time, if you know what I mean. Like it's not
Definitely.
Yeah.
Today's generation.
But these issues have mainly been smashing the Xbox One and the PC versions of the game, but the PS4 version isn't perfect either. Weeksy made some comments that he had some issues just installing the game. He chucked the disc in and it got locked off at 9% and wouldn't install any further, which sucked because it downloaded the update while it was doing that. But to get it to install, he had to delete the game, which deleted the update. So he then had to install it again and download the update again. We really need to have the ability to delete games and keep the updates. That's
10-4.
yeah, that's been a big problem because sometimes you've got a a 50, 60 gig game on there that you want to delete, but you might want to play it again in a couple of weeks. But you don't want to have to download the 8,000 gigabyte update that comes with it. I mean, that's a massive...
Destiny, mate.
Well, that's
17
it.
gig.
That's it. You don't want to have to wait for that, but you might want that that 40 or 50 gig for the game, but you don't mind keeping that 17 gig on there.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
if you could put it on to like an external device or something.
Yeah, save
the
your
update.
updates. Yeah, save your updates to a USB stick or something like that, because I mean, not everybody has updated their hard drives to a bigger one, and it's getting to the point where a terabyte's not really going to cut it. But it's
So
definitely
500 gigs, like sacrificing one of my children when a new game comes out.
yeah. So definitely the 500 gig ones are useless, I think. And you go back to the episodes of the podcast before the consoles or when the consoles were announced. I said it. I said 500
Yeah.
gig, not enough.
Not enough, nowhere near. It was never going to be enough.
And the reason why I knew it wouldn't be enough is because I put a 500 gig hard drive into my PS3 and I started to fill that up with the PS Plus games. Now 500 gigabytes on the last generation console is plenty because the games all were about 9 gig.
Yeah. Yep.
They're not 9 gig anymore. 90 some of them.
Oh, yeah. 9 gigs in update, eh?
yeah, 9 gig is the update. That's exactly right. Spot on, dude. So that's
We're updating our PS4 games with a PS3 game. That's
exactly.
fucked.
Exactly.
But that's the thing, they need to do that, and further to that, what we said before, they need a place on the store where there is just a link to the update or something like that, where you have the full list of all the games there, and it's got the most recent update for it, and
Yep.
you just click on that, and it
Absolutely.
downloads. Or you could do it via the web, download
Via
it
the
onto
website.
Right.
before it's released. They say, here's the update for PS4, here's the update for Xbox One, here's the update for PC. Download it now. You buy the game, you plug it in, and it's good to go.
All right. Well, anyway, off topic. Anyway, the point is, Just Cause 3, it's fucked. So we're waiting for an even bigger update than the what was it, 2.8 gig,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's a little bit broken at the moment, but that's fine because I'm too busy to start playing it anyway. So by the time I get a chance to play it, maybe it will be fixed. So
Just flaws.
yeah, Just Cause 3. Lovely. Good work. All right, moving on to the next news article. We've got a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game may be on the way. I did say it was on the way in the intro, but it's a possibility. It's a very high possibility, but hear me out. The Australian Classification Group has listed a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, or not a game, sorry, a patent, and with Platinum Games being a developer for whatever this is, but it's a fair assumption. Now, Platinum Games, I think I wrote down, yeah, so they're known for Legend of Korra and Transformers Devastation. Now, they didn't make the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. That was Red something. But that was Out of the Shadows, which was absolutely horrendous. So with a bit of luck, Activision with Platinum Games will be able to punch out a good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. I got Out of the Shadows. I bought that on the PC because this was when I think last gen was flourishing. I bought it on the PC so I could have nice graphics. But the game was just balls. I didn't want to play it, so I didn't really play very much of it. Any of you guys play the last one, Out of the Shadows?
Nah, I've seen an Angry Joe review on it. That was enough of it.
Oh, he would have fucking redlined that bloke.
He smashed it.
Yeah, it was terrible. So
But the cool thing about that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, they're doing what they've done. Well, Platinum are doing what they want to do what they've done with the Transformers and going back to Gen 1 cartoon style.
yeah, that'd be good.
You know,
Yep, I think so. If they made
Oh,
it,
fuck
similar
yeah.
to Transformers, something like that would probably be pretty neat. But yeah, so
They could just reskin Battletoads.
oh, fucking
no, thank you. No, thank you at all. But anyway, that's that might be on the not too distant future. That'll probably be a 2016 release, probably mid to halfway through, I dare guess. But that's my news. So, Red, give us what you've got, buddy.
a little bit of news came out this week that I would have been better off personally not reading. I now have a broken heart and I feel the loss of something that I've never known. So back in 2010, THQ Australia started developing a first-person co-op Avengers game, 4-player Avengers game with the main characters of Thor, Cap A, Hulk and Iron Man. And so it was basically a first-person brawler. I've seen a little bit of video on it and it actually looked really cool. But as we all know, THQ went belly up in 2012 and it never got finished. It just got shelved and cancelled. And it is by popular opinion that it wasn't because of the quality of the Avengers game. It was more due to the failing products like Homefront and the U-Draw tablet that they were trying to release. So
THQ, when they sold off all their IPs, and somebody must have just went, you know what, no.
Because it was slated to be released alongside the original Avengers movie, and it had its own story and everything like that. It wasn't like a derivative of the movie, but we will never get to see this game out in the wild, unfortunately, and that makes me very sad.
It's a shame when like a seemingly big profile game gets cancelled. Like probably the biggest heartbreak for me in the recent years is that Star Wars 1313 game.
How good did that look?
That looked fantastic. How does a game like that not work? And this is annoying too. I think I would have liked this one.
Definitely. The co-op aspect of Marvel, man.
How many superhero games have we got? They're all the same. A first-person one would be, I think, would change it up a bit. It'd be cool.
The only really good Marvel game, really, was the Ultimate Alliance duo. There was an Ultimate Alliance 1, Ultimate Alliance 2, so that was basically your Diablo in the Marvel universe, the isometric top-down co-op bloody dungeon crawling Marvel game, and that was fantastic. And then 3 was meant to come out 5-6 years ago. Not seen it. Then this is getting shelved.
What's that on?
A lot of them did fail though as well.
Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah.
PS3. I played it on.
Okay. Might be on
it's
PC.
probably on Steam as well. If it's on Steam, or I'll have a look during another segment. I'll see if it's on Steam, because that's a really good game. You'd like it a lot, actually. And
it
and
sounds
like you can
good.
if you were Captain America and I was Iron Man, and you both got specials, you can use your specials together. So you throw your shield out, and then I hit you with the beam, and then you can run it around the room and everything like that. Or Thor's hammer on top of Cape's shield, and it'll do like a sonar, an area of effect. It was a really good game.
Yeah, it sounds good. What's it called? Just Ultimate Alliance?
Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, yeah. Very good game. I spent some bloody time in that. 1 and 2. Main peers.
No, it doesn't look like it's there, man. I've got Marvel Heroes 2015, which is free to play. Lego Marvel Superheroes, Marvel Puzzle Quest, Disney Infinity. Nah, it's not there, man.
Ultimate Alliance 2.
Shame.
Yeah, shame. Here we go. Platforms: PS3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, and Nintendo DS. Yeah, so no.
Ah, well. It's a shame. Oh, well. What's next?
What's next? So, my headline, I created the headline, Gold-Plated Fez. Remember the Fez game? 2D game in a 3D world?
Yeah.
It's getting a US $100 physical release on December 18th. What?
In the US?
Yeah, 3...
It's like a special edition or something, isn't it?
Yeah, so in detail, it's limited to 500 signed and numbered copies with the cost of $100 American and is expected to ship on the 18th of December. This will include a DRM-free PC and Mac version of the game inside a red canvas, gold embossed hard-covered notebook, like a blank one, so you can fill in all your experiences, sort of thing like we used to do. And just Disaster Piece of soundtrack is including in the package as a digital download, which is a kind of a rip considering that's a DLC bonus. You can get the soundtrack downloaded here. No, it's not a bonus. But that'll also be available on vinyl for an additional $30 American.
That's our RRP for all our games.
Pretty much, isn't it?
Oh, that's interesting. Just strange that it's come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it has come out. And
He's running out of money.
yeah,
Or maybe you should have made Fez 2.
Well, you know how long it took him to actually make that Fez 1?
Yeah, but he could just copy-paste to make new levels.
Yeah, he did. Well, he did. It almost like really broke him when he made the game, because it was supposed to be released at this time and kept on getting pushed back, because he completely developed it himself.
Yeah, but didn't he crack the shits at Twitter and say that, well, because you're all being mean, I'm not making another game ever again?
Yeah, or you'll get it when it's ready, kind of thing.
No,
he's
but
told lies because
I
their
think...
next game.
Huh?
You go.
No, well, I'm pretty sure whoever he is, I'm just calling him he, I don't know what his name is, but the guy who made it, I'm sure he's the one that cracked the shits at social media and said, well, that's it, I'm never making a game ever again. Is that the right person?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. Yeah, let's have a quick look. What's his name?
I just typed in Fez developer.
Phil Fish.
And it come up Fez developer douche.
Well,
Oh yeah, Fez creator, and this is apparently a quote saying gamers are the worst fucking people.
Yeah. It said Phil Fish selling rights to Fez after being hacked.
Oh, is that why?
You douche, you make yourself a target.
I really wish people would consider the game for what it is and stop talking about me for a second. He sounds like a douchebag. No one likes him anyway.
There's actually on Netflix or something for everybody out there that's got it. I think it's called Indie Game the Movie.
Yeah.
And they go through a few different ones, and Fez is one of the guys that gets followed around in it. So very interesting look.
He tweeted that gamers were the worst people after being hounded on Twitter. No big deal. He made people angry, and they, as per usual, overreacted and started threatening him and abusing him. Blah, 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 blah. Being yourself. Okay. Yeah.
If you're easily offended, the internet isn't for you.
Yeah, so that is I am thinking of the right guy. And I'm pretty sure he said that I'm never making another video game ever again. So... And Reb, were you going to say he's making one?
Yeah.
What's he
the
making?
Developer behind it, a virtual reality for a game called Super Hypercube. It's another puzzler, and it's being developed for a launch title on the PlayStation VR.
Oh, good luck to him.
Job on.
Yeah,
it's not bad though. $100 American or something you can buy on Steam for $2.
Yeah, tops. Go for it, Yankee Doodles.
Downloaded for free on the PS4, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the only way I played it.
All right, Sean, give us your first news, please.
My first news is those crazy Taiwanese people know how to ruin it for everyone and spoil the surprise, because they've actually come up with a listing on their ratings board, the gaming industry rating board for Taiwan, saying that Rocket League is going to get a launch on the Xbox One.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, but it's coming sooner rather than later, apparently. So it's all been in, and yeah, so very shortly Rocket League will be out on the Xbox One.
So they can add another 8 people to their player pool.
But
I didn't realise that it had been. I thought it was going to be straight out exclusive. So
are they going to charge money for it? Because it was a PS Plus game. Remember when that came out?
Yeah,
And
or
I
maybe
guess
Games with Gold first up.
that's where the big sort of player base came from. So it'd be interesting to see if they make it a Games with Gold or if they charge the $20 for it, $30.
That'd be fucking double dipping though. Charging Sony whatever they charged them for that right to have it as a PlayStation Plus, and then turn around and doing it to Microsoft, or asking Microsoft to pay again.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, why not? Yeah. Why
No, I
not?
know that's a bit cheeky.
Go for it, Psyonix. It's a good game. You deserve all the money you can get for it.
Yeah, 10-4.
All right, cool.
Okay, next up, Among the Sleep. So This was, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, Luke, that we actually got in contact with Krillbite Studios
it was
over
a while
in
ago.
Norway and got basically an alpha copy of this game on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to have a playthrough of it and all that kind of stuff. And now it's coming to PS4 on the 8th of December in America and the 9th of December everywhere else in the world. So, yeah, pretty excited about this. It's a very good... Well, when I played it on PC originally, like the alpha, and then that was only one level, and then we played the full release when it came out. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed it. I watched it all the way through its development cycle just because it intrigued me when I first saw it. It was very creepy. You got to play as a toddler, and you went through all your levels and that, and it was really creepy, and it was just something that I'd never seen before. So,
but I think the thing is that there are things that are made creepy because you're playing as a... What are you, a 2-year-old?
Toddler, yeah.
2-year-old? So they're probably normal things, but they appear scary because you're a baby and shit scares babies, you know?
Yeah,
that was the cool
and that's
thing
what we were having the conversation about. Was it the baby's perception of what the world was like, or was it the baby's dream, or was it, like what was the game about kind of thing? And yeah, so Xbox One is going to come as well later on in December, but that hasn't been released or anything like that yet. And Krillbot have come out now with packing up all this stuff for everybody that bought it, contributed towards the Kickstarter when it originally came out. So yeah, now it'll be coming to this generation of console, and I'm led to believe that they might be creating it for the VR as well, because I knew that was in development for the Oculus, but I think that now as well they're actually doing it for the PlayStation VR too. So,
yeah, I can see why that would work.
yeah.
Nice. All right, well, we'll be playing that throughout the week, and we'll probably won't talk about it much next week because that's our Game of the Year show, but the week after, on our last episode for 2015, that'll probably pop up. All right, I think that's the end of our news.
Yep.
Thanks for the affirmation, finally. Let's go into What's That Sound?
I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's
All right, so in What's That Sound last week, I thought it was a really hard one, but you got it, Sean. And also, Rusky Big Muskie also snuck in about an hour before this podcast started recording with the answer and was correct. The answer was none other than Qbert. I had no
I was
idea.
talking to Red as well this week, and on the way back in the car, and I'm sitting there going, because I'd played it so much as a kid, and then I realised where I'd heard it again recently. And there's a show called Brickleberry. If anybody's seen it, it's a cartoon, like an adult Yogi Bear, basically. And it kind of does like flashbacks, like in Family Guy and that. And he's talking about getting acquitted for war crimes. And then it flicks back to him in Iraq, and there's all these soldiers which are like in a pyramid, and he's dressed up as Qbert jumping from them. And that's where I reheard the sound again. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. So it was, I don't know what the intro or something. I have never had any idea on what the hell that game is. I know there's a pyramid of cubes, and you play as Qbert, you jump. That's all I know. Yep. So congratulations, Rusky. It's been a while, but you managed to get that one for last week. Good job. So, without further ado, have a listen to what this week's sound is.
Boom. Hit shot.
Wow. Boom. Headshot.
Sounds cool, eh? He's like a real cool, suave dude. Any ideas?
No.
Come, Sean. You used to play this heaps as a kid.
I probably did it. It sounds very...
Red!
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. Yep.
Oh, wicked!
Yeah.
Because it sounds like that spy dude.
It's not, but it's actually the sequel. But hey, that's close enough. Well done. Well, I wouldn't have known that. Have you played that game?
No, they've got like a little mini series on YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's impressive.
Of that.
I had no idea. Like, I would have no idea if I was playing that because I've never heard it. Anyway, I'll play it again just for everyone else.
Boom. Hit shot.
You know what I detect a little bit of in there? Boom.
What?
Boom. Headshot. Almost kind of trying to be Aussie, but sounding a little bit more Kiwi than anything. But yeah, there you go. That's this week's What's That Sound. If you guys at home think you know what that sound is, because I've rudely beeped out, hopefully, the answer that Red gave us, which was 100%, well, 90% correct, to send us a message to our Facebook page, Aussie Gamers Express. Search for us on Facebook. Send us a private message. And if you're correct, I'll send you back a reply with a free game. If you're wrong, I'll reply as well and tell you that you're wrong. That's the polite thing to do. Yo!
Good effort, but please note that you are wrong.
Next time, try
Jeez,
harder.
Try again next time.
And you may not fail. Anyway, that's the end of What's That Sound, so it's time for... Rapid Fire Quiz!
Ooh.
Shouldn't be a delay today because we're in the same room. Oh, well, same house.
Well, yes, maybe. I don't know. All right, well, considering the way that I just sung that intro, we might have to go back into the 80s. All right, so Rapid Fire Quiz this week. Last week, I think Sean won.
Yes.
So...
I was in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, so ignoring the past, so just going from episode 101, Sean, you're now 1 behind. It's 3 to Red, 2 to you. So this one could even you guys up again. Whoever's in the lead at the end of the year will be the leader for the end of the year. Are you excited for that?
Getting all expenses paid trip to the toilet.
Yes. All right. So for those of you who aren't, who might be jumping on board for the first time, rapid fire quiz, I'm going to fire 10 questions at these two douchebags in rapid succession, and they're going to buzz in with their usuals of Sean, what's your buzzer?
Dong.
And Red, what's your buzzer?
Red.
And give me the answer, and if they're correct, they get a point. And at the end of the 10 questions, we tally them all up, and the winner is the winner. All right. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let me grab my little notepad ready to score, because I often forget to do that. Let's get the ticky-tock going. And question number 1. Name any game with a female antagonist.
Dong.
Red.
Sean.
Tomb Raider.
No.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Question number 2. Other than Mario and Luigi, name any character from the Super Mario universe. Sean.
Princess Peach.
Correct. Question number 3. What colour was the PlayStation 1 console?
Dong.
Red.
Sean.
Grey.
Is correct. Question number 4. In FIFA games, what does FUT stand for?
Red.
Red.
FIFA Ultimate Team.
That is correct. Question number 5. With the current world record in the most consoles sold ever, how many units did the PS2 sell in its lifetime? Red.
115 million.
Say it again.
115 million?
Incorrect. Question number 6. What does XBLA stand for?
Dong.
Sean.
Xbox Live Arcade.
That is correct. Question number 7. Which console was the direct competition in Australia for the Super Nintendo?
Red.
Dong.
Red.
Sega Master System.
Incorrect. Question number
Megatron.
8. What is the subtitle for Call of Duty 4?
Dong.
Sean.
Modern Warfare.
That is correct. Question number 9. Which Battlefield game features a team of expendable, rough-edged, foul-mouthed criminals? Sean.
Battlefield Bad Company.
That is correct. Question number 10. Red.
Sean doesn't get a point.
In NBA Jam, which famous American president could you play as using a cheat code? You're still in. Both of you are in this. Sean.
Kennedy.
Nixon.
Incorrect. That's it. That's the end. That's question number 10. All right. Let's see. Let's go through the answers and see who won. Question number 1. Name any game with a female antagonist. Sean, you gave us one with a female protagonist, or whatever you call it. Infamous Second Son, which had Brooke Augustine as the antagonist. Uncharted 3, Catherine Marlowe. Among the Sleep. Spoiler alert.
Yes. Yeah.
Question number 2 was, other than Mario or Luigi, name a character from the universe. Sean, I think you said Peach, which was correct. 3 was, what colour is the PS1 console? Grey. That was Sean, correct. In FIFA games, Red, you said FUT stands for FIFA Ultimate Team, which is correct, which I think is the only one you got.
The alternative is fuck you, Thorncliffe.
Yes! That's tops. I give you a bonus 2 points for that. The next one was...
Win.
The amount of consoles that the PS2 sold was approximately 150 million.
I thought it was 115. My bad.
We can double check that if you want to go to the Google judge, Uncle Google. How many PS2 consoles were sold? Selling over 150.
155.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, so question. Don't question me ever again. You lose a point. There you go. Sean, you got Xbox Live Arcade, XBLA. That's correct. The next one, 7. The direct competition in Australia for the Super Nintendo was the Sega Mega Drive, not the Master System.
Yes.
Sean, you got number 8. The subtitle for Call of Duty 4 was Modern Warfare, correct. Question number 9. Which Battlefield game features a team of expendable rough-edge, foul-mouthed criminals as the unlikely heroes, which is Bad Company? That's correct. An NBA Jam, which famous American president you could play as using a cheat code? Neither of you guys got that. It was Bill Clinton. So, with a final score of 5-2, Sean Thorncliffe, the winner of Rapid Fire for
Sticking my
episode
finger up at you out here.
106. Congratulations, guys. Red, not your best,
Nah.
but you're going to come back strong in at least for the last episode of the year. So.
Oh, it's going to be the last episode will be the decider. That's why I threw it.
Oh, it will be.
I went all Ronda Rousey on it and threw the fight.
No, you went all Ronda Rousey on it and was just shit. You were just totally outclassed.
Yeah, because we won't have a normal show next week, so there won't be a rapid fire quiz, but the week after's the last show, and that'll be the decider.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun! I meant that.
So die.
Alright, well that's Rapid Fire Quiz for episode 106. It's now time for us to go into Sean's Must Play Game.
Yeah, so my must-play game this week is actually a recent one. So it came out last year. But it's not a current generation game. So it came out last year. It's by Obsidian Entertainment, written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Oh, not
in
Stick of
cooperation
Truth.
with South Park Digital Studios. It's South Park: The Stick of Truth. Now, you hated this, Luke.
I'm going to go get a drink.
So South Park: The Stick of Truth is true. The big fans of RPGs, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, just wanted to do a proper South Park game for the consoles, and that's where they came up and they started writing out a script for it. Ended up being about 850 pages long, they said, with all this dialogue, and it was just going to be absolutely huge. And they joked about saying that, you know, if we did everything in this game, it wouldn't be coming out to like 2032. And so they cut it way back down and just turned it into basically an 2.5D RPG game. And you play in South Park as the new kid who's just moved into town, and you join up with Cartman and all the gang, Cartman, Kyle, Kenny, Stan and all that, and you become a member of the Kingdom of Cooper Keep, the KKK, and that's under the Grand Wizard Cartman. And so you get it's basically a quest game to the Stick of Truth gets stolen, and you need to find out what happens to it. You need to go and get it back. So in true RPG style, there's a heap of different classes you get to play as. So there's like your fighter or warrior, then there's the thief, a mage, and then the Jew. So you get to choose who you want to be at, and they each come with their own little perks as they do, and you build yourself up, get new weapons and all that kind of stuff. Now, what makes this game different, I guess, to everything is that basically it is a 15-hour dick and fart joke, and I loved it. I'm a massive fan of the South Park series. Everywhere you go in the game, you open up a cupboard in the different kids' houses, and there'll be everything has something to do with it, with the episode. You like open up Cartman's wardrobe, and there'll be like the weight gain 5,000 and Awesome-O and all that kind of stuff. Little interactive games in there. Luke's favourite one was you get to go and poo. So you would go into the bathroom at people's houses and you could poo in the toilet. It was a little mini game, and the weapons in it, like, so you could use spells, but your spells were like farts. And you could do like super farts across the people you were battling against. It's all turn-based combat, so you'll have your turn, and then the people will fight back at you on their turn. And you've got all your weapons. Like there's one which is a dildo that they've pulled out of Cartman's mum's ass, and you can beat the other people with it. But when you hit them with it, it deals damage to them, but also poisons them for the next 2 turns or whatever, because it's what it is. That's the Staff of Boobage. So that's out of the episode from Heavy Metal 2000, and that is really, really cool. So in it, it's 2.5D, so you're just running along the side of left to right, or right to left on the screen, but you can also move forward and back in the screen and explore the area. So as you're exploring, there is collectibles and all that kind of stuff, and the collectibles will be Chin Pokemon. So that's another homage to the series, like the original series, when they had like the Chin Pokemon with the Japanese trying to take over the American kids. Now, with it, they cut out so much content on it, but they wanted to originally say, well, it's going to be so big, we're going to do all of this content, but what we'll do is we'll release the full game, and then we'll add this bit and we'll add this bit on as DLC. And Trey Parker and Matt Stone said, no, that's not what we want. That's totally against the kind of games that we like to play. And so therefore they just said, no DLC, no nothing. You release the game fully, or that's it kind of thing. And so they decided to cut back a heap of content, and I'm guessing that a lot of that content that they tried to put in this game will be coming in their new game coming out next year. I think it is The Fractured But Whole. And the other stuff they used for the more recent episodes of South Park. So they took a lot of content that was supposed to be in the games and added it into the series. So that was another cool thing. And so there's the 2 areas. So you've got your South Park, and then there's also Canada in it. So you actually get to go up to Canada, and it turns into like another homage to the past. In Legend of Zelda, it kind of turns into that style of gameplay, like the old 8-bit walls that are like running through a maze kind of an area as the levels, and that was really cool. And with the guys, well, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, being such big fans of video games and that, I think that they did a really good job of explaining what they wanted from the game. And I really like that, because everybody can be a fan of a game and this and that, but with it being a South Park game, it had to be made the way that they made it. So it was an interactive South Park episode. Because in the past they've done the 3D South Park games, like South Park Racing and all that kind of stuff, and it just never really jumped at me, you know. It wasn't South Park. Whereas this one here is just like a fully interactable episode of South Park, and it was great. It didn't come without its controversies though. So in Australia it was actually had a few, it got knocked back originally for rating in Australia, even with an R18 rating, for sexual violence it was, and they had to basically cut scenes from the game. So one involved Randy getting an anal probe from an alien, and then he got an abortion as well later on in the game, and the screen showed up with a picture of a crying koala in Australia and a crying statue of David in Europe, and along with that it just explained fully to you what was going on in like a subtitle area down the bottom, so you could hear the noises, hear the sounds and everything. Still, you just couldn't see what was happening, but they were describing it to you in the game, which was their own little way of going, well, screw yous, we're not taking it out completely, we're just going to block the screen, like put a little bit of a screensaver in there. So that's really cool. The heads-up display in it was also pretty unique. So as you wandered around South Park, you got to meet all the different characters and all that kind of stuff. And so it was made up like a Facebook page. So every time you met someone, it added them to your friends list, and different parts of the game, it was quite funny, because there's one area where you get pepper sprayed trying to go into the rich people area where Token lives, and then all of a sudden you open up your heads up display and there's a status there from Carbon saying, oh, have a look at this video, this is funny as shit, the new kid just got pepper sprayed. So it's like real social media kind of thing as it went down and through it. And you can also get a trophy in it by becoming friends with Jesus as a Jew. So that's another little one. That's really, I could blab on about this game all day.
I prefer you didn't.
Yeah. It's a shocking humour, it's everything about it screams South Park, and I loved every second of it. And for the fans of the older style of games and fans of the series, this is it. Definitely, if you like South Park, this is definitely one of those must-play games that you've got to get a hold of and have a go. Like, it's disgusting, it's wrong. Like, there's bits where you've got to dodge you get shrunk down by the underpants gnomes, and you've got to dodge your dad's testicles as you're running across his bed, and he's going your mum. Like, it's just South Park, and I can't praise this game enough. It was absolutely phenomenal, and that's my must play.
Right.
Now I know you were not a fan of it at all, Luke.
I sort of zoned out a little bit. Did you explain sort of what the gameplay's like? Is that any good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the gameplay in it there's a turn-based combat and all that kind of stuff, and the 2D, 2.5D as you're running through, and it's just the whole interactions that you're having whilst playing the game. It makes it enjoyable. The combat did lack a little bit, but it didn't take away from the experience. It was funny.
I've lost interest in that show. I used to love that like a long time ago. I've lost interest in it because there's that many episodes. I don't understand anything. There's so many jokes that go on in that show now. None of it makes sense to me.
No?
No, I'd have to go back and watch everything for it to make sense. I think that whole stick of truth thing, that's from an episode, yeah?
Yeah, well, they did an episode called The Return of the Fellowship of the
Yeah, some bullshit.
ring
But
or
I've got-
the two towers or something. And
It's way too.
that was just one episode where they dressed up like that.
Yeah, it's way
And,
too like directed towards people that know the universe. It's just all stupid to me. Just
Yeah.
makes no sense. I think.
And then again, there's other ones like that there where I don't know the universe or the lore of certain other games, and that's why they don't interest me either.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's 100% right. You know, if you are a fan of South Park, you're going to love it. Absolutely love it. But as I said, you're not a fan of the series or anything like that, and you're
No, not
not an
anymore.
up-to-date fan of the series. And yeah,
Like I was a fan back in the day when there was Miss Chokes on Dick.
yeah.
There was the teacher that had a fetus on a face. There was Mr. Hanky.
Mr. Hanky, yeah.
there
Well,
was-
Mr. Hanky's in the game. Everybody's in the game, so
Don't
yeah.
forget to bring a towel.
Yeah, Towley, yeah.
How the hell, Carl? I'm Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo.
There was so
I
much
love
shock
him
value
and
when
he
that
loves
first came
you.
out, eh?
What was the Scuzzlebutt?
Oh, yep, I remember Scuzzlebutt.
Yeah.
He's one of the early episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the first episodes I did. Yeah. He's coming right for us.
Thinning out the numbers.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, well, yeah.
but as
if you-
they come in, though, you do use shock value.
If you're,
Yeah,
well,
that's
now
good.
we can tell why you say the stupid comments you say because you're a bloody South Park fan. All right, well, that's a must-play game. If you're into your South Park and all that sort of stuff, get into it. I prefer their movies, to be honest. I don't really like their games. But that's it for that one. So, Red, give us a shout, brother.
Right, I'm not going to make any apologies here, actually. There's going to be some names that are coming up quite constantly here, and I don't want it to sound stale at all, so I try and add a bit of a twist or a new name here every now and again. But some people just deserve it,
Yeah,
you know, so
that's fair.
here we go. General contribution on the page, Aidan Stewart, Ross Mark Russell, Big Muskie. And a few personal ones. Playing games with me this week, there was Matt Turvey, Gizmo and Tojimon, and Roy Boy slotted himself in as a usual suspect. Now he gets the mandatory chat invite when we turn the PlayStation on now. So it's a very nice addition to the close family we have here, and I'd like to welcome him into that little fold, whether he realised he was in it or not. But yeah, that's my shout out for this week. Bad Religions, as we know him, Gizmo, good personal mate of yours, Luke, but I play a few games with him now and we get along nice. Tojimon, my cheese-loving friend, and Aidan Stewart. So thank you very, very much for the support and hanging out.
Cool. You might have to get him a box of roses.
Yeah, I'll consider it. I'll eat it. They can have I'll have the wrappers.
Thank you very much for taking us camping. Thank you very much, very, 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 very much. You guys know that ad, remember?
I get it now, yes.
I think a few of the guys listening will probably know that ad too, but that was the Roses ad, wasn't it?
Very old, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, well, that's the shout. That's the last bit that we got. Sean, close the shout.
Close the show.
Then you
Go
can
to
close your
Google,
fucking mouth.
search www.aussiegamersexpress.com. That's where you'll find our blog with all of our latest news reviews and thought pieces and all that kind of stuff. On Facebook, if you haven't liked us yet, get over there and push that like button. Aussie Gamers Express on there, or facebook.com/AussieGamers2012. Twitter @AussieGamers12 is where you want to be clicking your little follow button on there. Give us a tweet, give us a retweet, give us a favourite, all that kind of stuff. Aussie Gamers Express is on YouTube. Get on there, subscribe, like, comment on the videos, all that kind of stuff. Then head on over after that, and I'm going to give you a list, so I hope you're writing it down. So check website, check Facebook, check Twitter, check YouTube. Now you need to head on over to www.twitch.com, and Aussie Gamers TV at twitch.tv is what you want to sign up for. And if you subscribe to us on that, you get an email sent through to you every time we go live and all that kind of stuff. So that's a pretty cool way of knowing when we're online and streaming and all that kind of stuff. iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio is where you can download this podcast directly to the device of your choice. Just search Aussie Gamers Express on there. Also, like, subscribe, and comment on the podcast there. Let everyone know what you think of us, because that really helps out in the long run with people noticing the show. So if you enjoy it as much as we enjoy doing it for you, then let everyone know about it. So that's about it. PO Box 130, Cranbrook, New South Wales 2749 is where you can send any snail mail or anything like that to.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that's the show done and dusted. Nice and what's the word I want? On schedule today.
Yes.
Yeah, Sean.
1.5 hours. Paul.
Yeah, last week you said, oh, it's because we're only doing 2 news items each. We only did 2 today, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked shit about South Park.
You did.
Blabbed on for another 10 minutes.
I was on my phone the whole time.
Oh, I thought you went and got
Glad to
2,500
see
XP in
you.
Fallout.
Yeah, I planted a few gourds and carrots.
Yeah, so no, it's just one of those games that I'm very passionate about. I really liked it. So
Maybe one day
Yeah,
you'll
good.
be passionate about a good one. Anyway, so I've been Luke 1.
I've been Thorncliffe.
I've been Red.